looks like the rain will hold off, everything, and have a great weekend.
You know, with that, we were thanking our sponsors, and speaking of sponsors, True Grit Auction Company, they've got an auction up here in the Scranton area this Saturday.
Yes, today.
And, you know, people ask us all the time about advertising with Arkansas Motorsports Magazine and Tuesday Night Tune-Up, and just a little bit about True Grit. You know, give a prime example. You know, they signed up with us in October.
Right.
They're out there, you know, working hard in the auction business, and you know, here just last week, voted best of the best in the Arkansas River Valley.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, Gary and Cindy Morrison, and I tell you, I'm just glad we came along when we did to help boost
Boost
their
them up a
business.
little bit.
Yeah,
Right.
they're
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
3 months with us, and they're best of
best
the best in the River Valley.
Testimony right there.
But so that's just a prime example of what we can do for you. And like I said, check their Facebook page. They've got an auction here in the Scranton area this Saturday. But like I said, we're just glad we came along when we did and helped springboard their business. So,
They got a
but
website?
yeah, they got a
Yeah, they got
website,
a website.
Facebook page.
I need to see what the auction's at
yeah.
this weekend. I don't know nothing about
So,
it.
but it's just down the road in Scranton. I know that. So check that out. But so like I said, we're here in Prairie View with Tony and Tracy Rogers, who they have been drag racing an awful long time.
Awful long time.
And you know, the best way that we know how to dive off in these things is just tell us how it all began.
Well, when I got out of high school, the first time, Dana Case, a buddy of mine, he come over and he picked me up, and we went to Centerville. Never been there before in '81. And went down there and watched, and pretty been hooked ever since, which I loved cars before that. And so we took a pickup, a friend of ours or two down there and street raced a little bit, you know, through the early years. And then me and Jerry Weaver loaded up his car one Sunday morning on the back of our record. He had a '69 Charger, and we hauled it down there backwards on that old record of ours. And that was really our first running bracket race,
Yeah,
no
sure.
E,
Bracket car.
pro no E style. And me and Jerry, we raced that old Charger a bunch down there for years.
Of course, everybody remembers Jerry Weaver.
Yeah.
He
Legend
passed
down
on.
there,
And but that's, and me and him running, we all started building cars down here in Scranton. And God, I think we had like 13 going down there at one time.
Pretty big crowd.
You know, Scranton is and you mentioned that Scranton is really, this area, a hotbed for drag racing.
It is for some reason.
And I guess, you know, for lack of explanation, you're a big part of that. You helped get that started.
Tracy's pretty big in it. He was a big starter of it, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, we helped everybody. We all worked at night on them cars and getting them down there. And like I say, I remember one time we had 13 or 14 cars down there. And we won, one Sunday we won street, pro, I think super pro.
It seemed like it was something.
It was in a paper. It's kind of an odd deal. And,
Were all them out of your shop?
yeah, pretty well. I think so. I'm trying to remember who won super pro though. But can't remember the winner of that race. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we all come out of our shop. It was in Russellville paper or something where they made a deal about it that they all three come out of Scranton when you run. I think that was the only 3 classes they had back in.
Yeah.
Street.
But you know, it just seems like if you drag race and you got a Scranton address, you're going to be pretty tough out there on the track. I don't remember anybody coming from this area that wasn't a good drag racer.
No. There's a lot of
And the other thing I want to say is these guys and a lot of these guys that are out here, you know, watching tonight who race, especially you two, some of the most polite people that you'll ever meet. I mean, think about it, is you race one of these two guys, and they will beat you out on the track, And then they will come over and help, after you, get your car from, they will help you tie your car down and make you feel good about it. About getting to leave and go home early on Sunday. And I mean that in a very complimentary way. Y'all are just.
The whole crew like that at Centerville
Yeah,
like that.
These guys will, like I said, they'll help tie your car down and make you feel good about going home early on Sunday afternoon.
We try to send you home, but don't always.
Yeah, okay. We get sent home more than we ever send anybody home, that's for sure.
But if you race enough, you get to stay every once in a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, exactly.
It don't come easy down there.
No, there's a lot of good competition. Now, Tony, when did you come along?
Well, I'd say Tracy and Jerry and all them got into it there, and I had an old 71 Mustang. I drove around the street a little bit. Might have started a little bit illegal, I don't remember, but when we started, when I took it to Centerville, I remember it got kind of hooked there a little bit. First day out, I remember even backed up on the, staged up on the back tires, you make
You're trying to get a head start.
Yeah, well, that's on the time trial. I just remember that kind of always stuck in my head. You always make them mistakes right off the bat, But, and then kind of, I've been off and on racing. I'll take a little leave of absence, I guess you'd say, and then just kind of here and there. I don't know, Tracy has too. I mean,
Well, I parked the car, but
I've always parked
I've
the car,
always went in.
yeah.
I've always
Yeah.
went through the gates down there at Centerville.
Yeah.
And I got Jackson here now racing with us. He's been racing since he's 8, so with the junior dragster. Now he's 19, so he's been at it 11 years.
And does a great
He did a
job.
Yeah, he won a championship in junior, street, and pro in 19. So
Got to make you proud.
yeah, he's thinking he needs to run super pro.
And stick shift.
And stick.
And stick shift.
Yeah.
How did the racing go between y'all two?
Who's that?
Oh,
He beat me a time or two, and I beat him a time or
right.
two.
It's kind of evened out, I'd say. It's
Yeah.
not been too.
He's cost me a championship.
Yeah, that is true.
Tell us about that.
Well, it was down to the last race, and I was, me and another guy was heads up in the points with each other, and I drawed him, and I guess we don't throw favors.
It is what it is.
It's on my way then. Yeah.
How did Monday go at work?
We
Get over
just blew it. Yeah, we really, that's the way we want to race.
Yeah, right, that's the way it should be.
At the same time, you're thinking, dang.
Yeah.
How, with all of you guys in this dirt drag race, how much pressure does it put on y'all? I mean, I don't necessarily mean pressure, but bragging rights. If y'all have to run one another, what's the consensus when you go to the starting line?
Usually when you run Jerry Weaver.
Yeah, back in the, I think to say, back in the earlier days, it was get ready to hear it.
Oh, Jerry was hard. He's the toughest one to beat.
Yeah.
He was the best, I would say. And he'd ride you.
Yeah.
He loved to rub it in, especially after about 2 or 3 beers. He got one.
He'd look down the end of that barrel, that can there once in a while and tell you.
Yell about it.
Yeah, he'd tell you how he beat you. It's fun. It's all in fun.
Yeah,
It's all in
fun.
fun. Yeah.
Now, like I said, we were at Straight Line Transmissions a couple of weeks ago with Caleb and the automatic transmission, and y'all are somewhat famous for shifter class 4-speed action. Let's talk about a little bit about that. What is it about that intrigued you even back before the shifter classes got popular, especially bracket racing, to do it with a standard?
I just was hooked on the 4-speed from the get-go. 65 Mustang with a 289 4-speed. That's what I wanted. I've just been hooked, and I just enjoy it. It's just fun to pop the clutch and hope you get the next gear or two. But I don't know. It just I put automatic in this car once, run it for 1 weekend, pulled it back out. Said, well, I ain't gonna run automatic no more until I can afford it. Yeah, until I can afford a good stick. put Delinco in it for a while, and then I put a Jericho in it now. But I just like it. It's not the most economical way to race, that's for sure. But it's fun.
Class it's getting interesting. More
Yeah,
and more.
yeah, we need some more people in. It's I think we was up to 21 or 2 cars the last race. But we're hoping it grows and get as many as we can in it. And Jeff Henry down there at Kraft, he's been helping us with it, get some cars, and Jerry Stafford, he's helping sponsor with it too. And it pays good money. You can't,
Yeah, Wayne pays real good on it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Treats everybody good on it.
$1,000 a win, ain't it?
Well, it has been. I don't know if it'll be that way this year or
Yeah.
not, but we're hoping the class grows where it can keep paying $1,000.
And it's a very exciting class.
It's different to watch instead of the two-stepping and just the old automatic stuff, And it's a bracket race, so you don't have to be a fast stick-shift car to get in it. You can we try to shoot for around a 9-second, 8th mile pass car down on faster. And but either, we'll take what we can get sometimes. Yeah. But that's what we shoot for. And a lot of times a slow car will win it.
Oh, yeah.
Our nephew Cody, he come down there and won it a couple times in a street Cobra.
Yeah.
And, we have 4 races a year, and it's a points championship, and you win a jacket and the money. It's a good deal, really. Everybody needs to get in it. You need to be one.
I will keep that in mind as we travel back home tonight. It may be something
Y'all can
he
talk
may
about
be-
it.
Talk about that.
Yeah. You better stick in that Mustang of his.
He's he could fit right in with you guys. He's got the Ford.
He's a Ford guy. Yeah, ain't nothing like a
I've
Ford now.
always been a Ford guy,
Okay.
but then,
I thought
and
we're
in
not against you.
in saying that, y'all been into the Ford deal that's y'all's
main stuff.
That's
that's
what we run, yeah.
Right, but that
We build a little bit of
we build
everything.
but you do, you build a little bit of
We like
everything, but
Chevrolet, Mopar, everything, yeah.
Tell us about, and like I said, we're next door to the shop, but tell us, y'all are pretty famous for your Ford engines.
I don't know about that.
But I mean, realistically, you guys know how to make a lot of horsepower.
Well, we try. I mean, we
Tell us how the engine building, how it got started.
Well, Dad, he owned a shop over there, just a regular garage. Then we swapped out motors and all, and we got to where we was buying short blocks and building our own heads. And one day we come across a boring bar, and that was probably the start of doing the whole build. But we ain't got none of that stuff no more. Now we own a new Rottler seat guide machine, just body it. Got a big crank grinder, it'd be what, like a 60, 70?
66 inch.
66 inch crank.
Yeah.
Resurfacer, balancer,
Merco,
boring bar, yeah.
replaced that one, yeah.
And, got rid of the boring bar and put
It's a
work.
never-ending spending business, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a money pit.
Yeah, the money, I don't advise it.
No, there's a lot of other cheaper investments in the money than in the machine shop. Yeah, you spend a lot of money to make a little.
Yeah.
But it's just something we like doing. We like building an engine, like machining an engine. And there's just nobody else, there's just 3 or 4 in this area,
Right.
in
We
here.
got Danny Rader running the Rottler, and he's tickled with it, so that made worthwhile there.
Keep our employee happy.
Yeah, you got
Oh, and
to
I'd like to tell you on the live video here, Danny Rader is Employee of the Month.
Hey, Danny Red. All right. Finally made it.
You made it.
It's a tough decision.
Matter of
but-
fact, why don't you sit in my seat here for a little bit, Danny Rader? You sit here, seriously, come down and take my place for a little bit.
Whenever you get ready.
Hey, come on now, we're talking about the shop for a little bit, well,
Well, it's whatever, but
Yeah.
like I say, we
That's what we're here for,
But, yeah, I mean, and we're constantly investing in it. It's, we're looking for more modern machines, but right now, that big investment with the Rottler seat guy machine, that's gonna take us a little while to get over, and then we're hoping to get into CNC.
What do you got to invest like that when you got somebody like Danny Rader on
That's
that?
That's it.
You got to keep the investments going.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I'd like to say, these boys took it to a new level.
they really have.
When I was working there as a kid, ain't nothing.
Yeah, our dad was raised around the Depression, so money didn't get spent. the more it had to.
I understand, but no, y'all have really, you've it's took time, and and from a distance watched y'all grow, over so many years here, y'all, like I said, it hadn't been overnight, but you got to be proud of where you're at.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are, we are. We
Because
had a lot of people help us get there, I mean. we gotta get a
I
lot
know all
further out
these
there.
guys are, and I know a lot of other guys in racing are. I mean, y'all have worked hard and done it the right way, and I'm just,
Yeah, we just, buy it when you can, don't go over in debt.
Right.
That's like I say,
That's what
when
kept us going, really, more or less.
there's not a whole lot of big money in Arkansas, so,
No, not that, we're poverty-stricken Prairie View, I call it here.
Yeah, a guy told me he was at the PRI show last year, and he's telling me, he said, I'd like to, bring my machine shop into Arkansas, and he's talking to me, he said, because it costs so much in Michigan. I said, where you get the boardwalk? He told me, and I said, you might want to stay up there.
Like 300.
$350
Yeah,
there's a V8. You won't get that in Arkansas.
how many engines do y'all try to do a year, or got any idea?
No, I don't have a clue.
I mean, anytime you walk
Might
in
be
the door,
embarrassing.
it's busy.
Yeah.
But y'all really, y'all do quite a few,
Yeah.
engines a year.
Constantly building them on the, there's 2 or 3 on the bench, I hope, all the time. And, like I say, right now, for some reason, we're doing 5, 9 Cummins, we've got 3 or 4 of them going right now.
That's the other thing, it's not just racing engines that y'all do.
No, it's mainly industrial and,
No, we do a little of everything.
yeah, a little bit of everything.
All down, you gotta do it. I mean,
Right.
We do tractor engines, or we'll
Yep.
do, like the kind of diesels, much smaller diesels. Don't get
Medium-
into the
medium
big,
diesel,
don't
yeah.
get into the big
460
stuff.
international.
Natural gas.
Natural gas.
A lot of
Yeah, doing a lot of
natural
natural gas now.
Yeah,
Yep.
build heads for the natural gas and build engines. One company would do mainly the engine.
Right.
But anything to make a dollar.
I understand. Well, like I said, you got Raider on the payroll, so we've got.
Danny, why don't you take a spot here?
And now that-
Danny,
Yeah,
come.
right.
Now he's employee of the month. and going to raise.
Yeah.
Get that employee of the month in there.
We'll,
I feel like something now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Rader.
we're going to invite in. If you don't know Danny Raider, you're missing a real treat.
Hey,
Danny's a long time drag racer here in Arkansas, and has been very successful over the years, and he's been successful drag racing. He's now employee of the month here at David Rogers Garage, and
Still owns Sunny Orange Corvette.
and he still owns Sonny Ward's Corvette.
That's right.
Danny, like I said, tell us about your drag racing career has been pretty great.
Been pretty good.
Tell us how all that got.
Just, like I guess most folks, always like vehicles, always like racing, like a lot of guys, started out in my old Ford pickup with a 306 and an automatic, bracket racing, and just progressed from there. Got a wild hair one day, had an old Cadillac, had an old 500 in it. I think that thing is going, that old truck. Wanting to go a little faster, put a 500 Cadillac in it, run that thing for a while, and
What did it end up running, you remember?
it run 1170s in the 1,000. Yeah,
Long bed pickup.
long bed pickup, drive that thing everywhere.
Straight out of Cadillac.
Straight out of the Cadillac, put it right in there, didn't do nothing to it, and like it was made for it. And just like everybody else, well, finally decided gonna have a real race car, you know. So the old Pontiac had a 72 Pontiac Ventura. It kind of started out as a father-son deal. I got a stepson, and you know, it was something for him and I to do and all that, and like a lot of things, well, that kind of went by the wayside there, you know. So I said, here's my race car. So started racing it and everything, and just, you know, I guess like everyone else, it just, you know, you want a little better car, you want a little better equipment, you know, and that's just the way it's progressed, you know. And now, you know, I got a 2 chassis Camaro. My wife, she drag races, you know, she's got a dragster.
He was a very tough drag racer.
Yeah.
Reba's,
You know,
very talented
and
on the strip.
you know, she does real good, and we enjoy it, you know. Got a little granddaughter now, you know, that's what she talks, you know. We got to get her a car, you know. Of course, you know, she's 6 now, so probably got a couple of years or something, but you know, it's just a big family thing, and we all enjoy it. And you know, like Tracy and everybody get over there, and everybody's like a big family over there. So
No enemies over there,
No.
just competitors. The old Pontiac, was it a big block to start with?
had a big block in it. Yep.
I'm thinking it did.
Yeah, my stepson had, of course, you know how it always is, you know, I've got all kinds of small block stuff. No, I want a big block, right? You know, don't own a valve cover off a big block, you know. You know, you go out and you scrounge all this stuff up, and you put together something and all that mess like that, and you know, run it, and it run good, and I had good success with it and everything, but you know, I guess I never was really, it's not that I don't like them, I just was more used to a small block Chevrolet, I guess, you know, like everybody says, they're a dime a dozen, they're everywhere, you know, got parts, and so that's kind of what I'm stuck with.
Now, how does that go with these boys? You
Well-
run the Chevrolet and them with the Fords.
Well,
Remember,
you know-
just now getting employed.
yeah, it may get revoked, but you know, I'll tell them like, yeah, and like everybody truly knows, that LS is the way of the future. You know? and if you look at them, you know, they resemble a Ford. You know, look at the exhaust on them and everything. And of course, you know, nowadays you can buy a distributor kit that goes up front, and you know, they look like a Ford. So you know, of course, they run way better than a Ford.
Him and Jackson enjoy having that. You have at it.
Is this for the junker class they're having?
Hey, and LS will go in anything.
Jackson,
I
say
think-
something about the junker.
I think most Camaros come with LS's.
No, I thought you did the Mustang. did.
Yeah, most Mustangs. Yeah.
Now,
I'm sorry.
while we're on that subject, now Jackson, I understand, he's got his own class in
Yeah.
Centerville.
Oh yeah.
You wanna talk a little bit about that?
He would, but he's over there. We got him shut up for tonight.
Yeah.
He come up with his class with Wayne and Patty, and they finally give in, just let him do it, just to make him be quiet. But it's called Jackson's Junker, is what Patty named it, and it's a medium. Just spend $1,000 on a car.
It's 2,500 now.
Or is it 2,500 now? They raised
Inflation.
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 And but
LS motors come up.
the price is salvage. But anyway, it's a bracket race on Saturday night, about 3 or 4 times a year. You just pay to get in and run for a pot of money. And you'll see minivans, you'll see
Ford
LTVs, Aerostar vans. Yeah, there was Aerostar van on it here a while back.
Runner up.
Or runner to. And it's a fun class to watch, actually.
Well, it's good that you take someone Jackson's age and he, you know, looks around, see what's going on. It's, you know, it's another avenue to get more people out there racing, and I applaud him for that.
Yeah.
And,
That was a lot of the group that got in, was the
His acre.
Yeah.
And we also want to thank Jackson. He was the one that got us here tonight.
Yeah,
And so,
I turned you down.
yeah, Tracy turned me down. So I knew the next best thing to do was just go ask Jackson. I knew Jackson would sign us up.
Well, the junker class needed publicity.
Yeah,
That what he
Yeah.
making you put that out there? But,
But
it is fun. Me and the wife go down and watch it. You know, she enjoys watching them kids out there having fun.
now, Raider, you spent some time there driving for Sonny Morris.
Yes, sir.
Who was, he was, I guess, one of the original, I guess you can say, when it comes to drag racing in Arkansas. He went back as far as it comes for organized drag racing, especially
charter
for
member.
Charter member.
Yep.
Yep, charter NHRA member,
Yes, sir.
and loved the sport, and hate that he's no longer with us.
Mhm.
But talk about the old Corvette.
66 Corvette. Been a race car, from what I understand, most of its life, Had a Hemi in it at one time, Linko, they showed it there for a little bit, and then decided, we're gonna race it again, and of course, I probably shouldn't say this, it's even had a 289 Ford in it.
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I knew that.
Everything but an LS.
I think it's had everything but an LS in it at one time or another. But Ernie Gray and Wayne Stiles, they told me one day, said you ought to go talk to Sonny and about driving his car. His nephew had drove it for him a little bit and all that stuff, and then Steve had got hurt and everything, wasn't able to drive it and everything. I said, boy, I don't know about that, about talking to Sonny about that car, because I'd seen it, when it leaves, it's always wheels up, and all this mess like that. And I said, man, that's way different than what I was used to, And anyway, I said, yeah, need to go talk to Sonny. So went up there and talked to him, and I said, well, Ernie and Wayne, they told me I ought to talk to you about you was wanting somebody to drive that car. And I said, no, I don't really know if I can handle it or whatever, but I'll do, I'll try it, and, if you're good with it, I'll continue. If you're not, it ain't no problem. You just tell me, and I don't have a problem with it, It ain't gonna hurt my feelings or anything like that. So he said, well, we talked on there a minute, and he told me, he said, well, we'll just try it. So he brought the car over to the track the next weekend, and drove it, and of course I wasn't used to it, and I was all tense and all that, and when it took off, it, like usual, it didn't want to go straight, and it did run off the side of the track, and all this mess like that, and I'm all big-eyed and everything, and Lord, I don't know what Sonny's gonna do and all that. Of course, I luckily didn't tear the car up or nothing that time, but anyway, Sonny, he said, well, you didn't hurt it and all that, and everything's okay, and I figured that was going to be the end of it, and we went on, finished the day, and made a few rounds and all that, and we just kept working on the car, Sonny let me keep driving it, and just got to looking at it, and the chassis was pretty good on it and all that stuff, but there was a lot of dated stuff on it, the way they had done the 4-link and all that, and we changed up a bunch of stuff, and tuned on the motor, and just, got everything working pretty good and all that, and everything just seemed to kind of click, and won first championship with that. And just,
You had to work at it.
oh yeah,
But you eventually got to where that car
oh
all
yeah,
just kind of fit like a glove.
Yeah,
You and the car.
it worked good, and like you're saying, it was a battle, trying to figure out what had been done to the car, what it wanted, what it needed to do to it, to make it go straight and leave straight and be consistent and everything like that, and it paid off. It just working on it paid off, and then over the years, you know, we just got better and better with it and everything, and then, suddenly he finally told me, you know, one day, you know, said something about selling it, and I said, well, I want it, so we made a deal, and I bought it, and it probably got a home forever.
Well, and it's, you know, Sonny's not gonna have the car, it's where it needs to be.
Oh, yeah, I
See,
mean,
we can't get a 289 back in it.
You know,
maybe a 5.3.
That was a stroke 289.
It might be similar. Yeah.
what, Tracy, what do you, you know, like I says, we go into 2021, what's the plans for you?
Well, we're working on Jackson Pro No E car right now. We're gonna put a little more motor, try to get it down a little lower, around 7, you know, we can do a little 7.0 index if it ever, you know, comes up. But we're gonna hit the points at Centerville as usual every weekend, and try to travel a little more this year with that car. And this car, we're gonna get the motor back in it, get it back going, and hit the stick shift race at Centerville every chance.
Speaking of travel, I remember one time you went to Chicago,
Byron.
or outside of
Yeah,
Chicago.
Byron, Illinois.
Byron,
Yeah.
Illinois.
Tell us about that.
Oh, it was a fun trip. That was a lucky trip. The old car ain't been running in a while. It's my yellow car. The Mustang 2 was the one before this one. And transmission was out of it. The headers were off of it. It's all rotten. Tires were about wore out. I decided, you know, I read about that race the year before, and the guy that won it got his name in the National Dragster. I thought, you know, I'd like to get my name in the National Dragster, you know. So I kept up with that race, and I caught it that summer there in 1996, I think, 5 or 6, July race. And so we ordered a set of headers, put a set of headers on the car, put the transmission back together, and got it all ready to go, and we put it on back that little half-ton pickup I had then. And 4 of us left out, and decided not to put the new tires on. I had them, but I didn't put them on it. And we drove all the way up there and run that stick shift race. There's like 40 stick shift cars at that track that day. And it was a long day because it rained in the middle of the day, and we was doing good, and we had to wait. And then they started rushing us because they got a curfew there. So we basically made a pass, come back around, and made another pass. You know, we shoved the water hose in it, coming through the pitch, you know, just to cool it down a little bit. And we made it, and we got to the finals, and they was rushing so much I got antsy and red lit. But we runnered up, just out of the blues, going to that race, and it was a good race. And
Where we met Larry Tarr at, right?
yeah, Larry races with us down
Yeah.
here. We talked to him up there, and like I say, it's a big race, 40-something stick cars.
U.S. Stick Shift Nationals.
Yeah, the U.S. Stick Shift Nationals, and but it just one of them trips, nothing went wrong. You know, we got back, put the new tires on the car, went down to Centerville, and it shook so bad it couldn't make it past. That worked out. Decided not to, didn't have the time to put them on. Really, the only reason we did it. But I never forget that man, that had been a wasted trip. We did put them new tires on and drove. That's a 2,000-mile round trip for us. The time we got there, run around. We did a little joy riding up there while we was up there. And but it was then me and Andy Gray there. We went to North Carolina year before last, wasn't it? They had 150 stick shift cars at Farmington. Got a stick shift race out there, and we're going to try to make it this year. That'd be another race we try to make. That's a 900-mile one-way trip. But they had 150 last year and 150 the year before, so we're going to try to make that one this year. And Jackson's wanting to make a big no-E race, but he has to choose. I don't know if we'll make that or not. We're going to try.
Well, yeah, hey, I want him to do that. I want him to really get into promoting this Jackson's jumping plant.
You don't have to make,
No, I mean, but I would like to, see more people, especially young people, get involved in that, because it doesn't cost a whole lot of money.
no, it's whatever, get your grandma's car and come out and,
We had a Roadmaster win once last year, and then we had BJ Fonder and then a Suburban win, and then Andy and BJ split it the last race. And had it oil down.
he's got an 84 Crown Vic sitting out in the yard that he races. I bought it to crush. It didn't get it.
Hell, it's one more money than that Fox body.
Danny, what are your plans for this year?
Well, I spent the day with Matt Urick, my wife's dragster. We noticed there the end of last year that the thing had a crack in the frame, so took it apart, went over and let Matt Urick fix the chassis on it and everything, got it all ready. Gonna put it all back together, do a couple of things on it, little things I've been wanting to do on her car, get it running, get her back out there racing again. My car, we had just put a new motor and tranny and everything in it, so it's pretty much ready to go. And like Tracy's saying, want to do a little more traveling this year. We want to hit a few more of the index races around. Like doing that. And some of the bracket races, but want to do a little more index racing this year than I have been lately. So
The index racing seems to be growing in popularity.
it does.
The last couple of years.
It does, and I like it for my car because it's fast enough. I can run 6.0 in it, but I can slow it down enough where it's not that big a deal to run 7.0 too. So, you go to somewhere that runs 6.0 and 7.0 where I can run both classes, so.
What do you think the reason the popularity of the index class growing is?
I think the deal, it's easy for a guy to be like a heads-up racer. You don't, you got a car that runs, just maybe a little above the index, right there. Well, you don't have to do anything really special, to slow it down, and if you're one way or the other, you don't really have to do that much to speed it up or slow it down, and it's a bracket race, but it's not, it's a heads up bracket race basically. So
It comes down to being one of them things that you're better at the tree than the
That-
other
and
guy
that's-
next to you.
yeah, and that's the tree plays a big part, but and over the last few years, a lot of the guys are doing that. They've got a lot faster car. You got guys that they're running 520s, 30s, and stuff like that, and they're running 6.0. Just like it would in the super classes, in a national event or something like that, to run that big mile an hour, to make it hard to judge and all that stuff like that. But it just makes it popular to me. For the main thing is that anybody can do it, and it's just kind of like I said, a poor boy heads up
Do you
deal.
think it takes away some of the stresses between rounds of
Oh, Lord,
deciding
no.
what you're going to dial?
No.
and think that?
You don't got to dial
No.
it.
But I mean, does it alleviate some of that stress?
It doesn't alleviate the stress to me, because it's the same thing, if you're running the throttle stop of any sort and anything like that, well, it's just like bracket racing or anything else. You're contending with the weather, with the track. Do I need to put some numbers in? Do I need to take some numbers out of the stop? Most of the time, the guys that are really into it, and there's guys that are getting really serious about this. They're you're going on a 14-inch pro tree and 6.0. Well, a lot of these guys they've got their cars set up. I mean, they can red light on a 14-inch tree. So do I need a little more delay in? I had a 004 light the last time, and that's on a 14-inch tree. And do I put some in? Am I good right there? It's a lot of things to think about, how close, okay, well, the other guy, he run off, so I let up, so, you study the weather, you study the time slip and everything, okay. I would have run, on my index, or I may have been a little fast, or, and it's a lot to deal with.
A lot down the stripe, ain't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And in saying that, how much has drag racing changed over the years since y'all first started? With, everybody now with like the little weather monitors that everybody's got at their trailer, they're keeping up with what you're talking about.
Yeah,
How much has all that changed from the first time that y'all started going?
Oh, it's a total different world. I mean, you guys are sitting in the car, looking at the weather, seeing what has changed. That you've got so many programs out there nowadays that everybody different programs, basically some sort of ET predictor that they're looking at right now, this instant. The barometric pressure change, the density altitude change, it got a little bit cooler. One of you guys is going out there, they're checking the track temperature and everything. It's, and it's all that stuff, they're feeding all that stuff and it's going down and it's telling them, every run they make, everything goes into a little computer and at these conditions right now, this is basically what your car will run, and if you're bracket racing or index racing or something like that, I mean, it makes it easier for you like that, to dial your car and stuff like that, but
Guys that's been doing it a while, they can actually dial their car without a time trial.
oh yeah,
They can hit their number real
Yeah.
tight.
And we're sitting here with two.
With two of them, right? Right.
So-
I was just saying, compared to when you first got started, it's changed so much over the years.
I mean, I know, like Tracy said, and me, when I got up in the morning, went out and got in my race truck and drove over to the track,
Right.
of what I was gonna drive all week, where these guys, nowadays, more times than not, people got a dedicated race vehicle, just for that, and it's set up, and it just like everything else. If you want to really succeed, you're gonna have to step up. That's just what you're gonna have to do.
There'll be some good cars this weekend down there.
Oh yeah,
They always come out of Missouri. on
Yeah, you
Friday.
get a lot of
Be a
good
lot of
cars
good-
out.
a lot of
there.
good racing this
Springfield.
a lot of good racing. Yeah,
And it's saying that, are you ready for this weekend?
definitely. My car's down there right now. Yeah,
He owns the spot down there.
yeah. Well,
I know.
Where, and Heath brought up this point about where it's come from. Where do you see it going? Where do you see it going in the
I
future?
mean,
I'm hoping to stay in bracket racing grows. I don't know, I just
Yeah.
hope it does.
Well, I
Bracket
mean,
racing's
what-
best
but the
way.
what he said, the
technology part of it.
technology. What do you? I mean,
Well,
it's come for so far now. What are
they're
you
gonna
looking
be
at?
able to, they'll be able to make their car run their number by a computer, I'm sure, and they already are.
They already do.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
hope they keep that out of it.
it's depend on how much that they allow you. Some tracks nowadays, you can't run a grid or what is it, 75-31 box or something.
Yeah, the MSD box.
Yeah, the MSD. There's a lot of things out there that they don't allow you to run, unless you run in some of these heads up, no prep kind of stuff, and then whatever,
Kinda takes the fun out of bracket racing.
Well, I mean,
You get too much or too much electronics in
Yeah.
there.
But-
Yeah, no E, it's just no E.
Yeah.
You can't get nothing in there. I mean, you could if you
oh
wanted
yeah,
to,
I
but-
would be, yeah.
But 99% of them don't, no E. Now, if you go to the big money races, you wonder about it, cause we've been to a couple no E big races, heck, they run 2,000-3,000 packages,
Yeah.
and that's hard to do in a super pro
Right.
car. So,
Yeah, every round.
every round,
Yeah.
we watch
Yeah.
them do it.
Yeah,
And,
they're serious.
yeah, you're
Real
concerned about it.
But I mean, is there something engine wise and induction wise? that you see coming in the future that's,
Yeah, I
could be the
think,
next big thing?
I think a lot of super pro guys are gonna start running pro chargers and stuff, don't you? Or not, some of them will,
I think a bunch
Super-
of them are.
or belt-driven chargers.
Yeah.
And, just to have mile an hour, they want that big end mile an
Get
hour.
that big mile an hour, that's right.
And, but
What about,
no E's gonna be normal, you know, I don't think much will change on it.
what about, 400 Chevrolet transmission, you think they'll?
They're in the big power cars.
Yeah.
They're for the heads up guys. And, but yeah, the no E stuff, that's what we do. Danny does the super pro stuff, but I've always been a no E guy.
Right.
Just to keep it simple.
And you bring up an interesting point here when you say keep it simple.
Yeah.
I mean.
We're not making a living at it.
No, but do you see a lot of bracket racers out there that sometimes may go out of bounds with the rocket science of it and get themselves in trouble to stay competitive?
Well, not really no E. I mean, well, yeah, they'll try different stuff, you know, and get lost, and then they'll eventually start back over again. But I don't know. I just, for us, it's just, you see a lot of people now starting to, you know, pad their dial in a little bit and get down there and put a nose on you. But at the end of the day, you gotta cut the light before you can get away with that, you know.
You always gotta have a light.
You gotta have a lighted starting light.
Yeah.
And you do have the wife's car ready now, that way she can run this weekend?
Well,
so-
it's not ready, ready. Like I said, it had a crack in the frame on the thing, and, we had to cut the metal out and put new metal in and all that, and do that where it was at. It was toward the back, rear engine dragster, and, had to pull the motor and tranny, and just got that done, so.
I guess Matt done a normal.
Oh,
So
man.
you got a big week planned
Looks
to
good.
Well,
get it all back together for her?
No, it won't be back together this
Okay.
weekend. I've got some
Rick was
other.
not feeling the
Yeah.
love this
Are
week.
we breaking the news here live?
Oh, she knows it. I know. Yeah. There's some other changes I want
I
to do.
didn't want a phone call from
No.
her when I got home tonight.
No, she understands.
Okay.
You tell them, baby, this is what we need to do, because I want you to be safe and everything, and I want you, and then they're all understanding.
She walked off shaking her head.
Yeah, yeah,
You just helped me this weekend. and-
yeah, yeah,
Bring plenty of food.
yeah.
You talked a little bit there a while ago about the LS smoker. How is that changing the sport?
Not really any. That's more, you'll see some.
And I say this because every time you turn around, you hear the words LS swap.
Yeah, yeah. Take one out of a Mustang, put it in a Chevy pickup, don't you, or something?
They take it out of shape.
But I mean, are you beginning to see, we talked about that a while ago, but do you think the small block Chevrolet guys, bracket race cars are going to stay with the old conventional?
They're losing some of them, and but not that bad yet. But the old Chevy, the carbureted, people stay with the carbureted. They're probably going to stay with that. There's a few people doing it, and but I don't know. It's more they do it, probably people like Danny buy all their used parts that they quit.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can see, a bunch of the younger guys doing stuff like that. Like me, I like the LS engine, and I've got some, and I've got a car that I've put one in and all that. But as far as my racing, got a conventional, first gen type small block in there, because that's what I've always had. I've got parts and all kinds of parts for one, so.
And I think Heath will approve this question if you don't mind. We're talking about parts, but what are your favorite cylinder heads in drag racing?
I think they're Brodex. Yep.
Yeah,
I've got
New sponsor.
yeah, the shoe-in.
Well, they're right here in Arkansas. Jeff and Greg. You can always, you know as well as I do. You can go up and talk to them just like anybody. They're friendly. They don't mind helping you out. I like it for the main deal is that they are here, you know, and if I hurt a head, or I need a valve, or I need some springs, or I need other engine related stuff, you know, and I can ask them, and you know they've always helped me one way or the other, you know. So
Mina's not that far to drive.
Mina is not that far to drive, and I have been there many a time.
Yeah, about an hour and a half from Scranton, Arkansas.
Yep.
We are a dealer though.
Yeah,
Everybody drives.
They're a dealer for Broderick's Heads,
Yes.
and we meant to ask that question. We,
Yeah.
you know, we talked a lot about parts, but we didn't have any idea.
You buy some heads or blocks or intakes, and they'll give you a nice t-shirt or a hat, you know.
That's that big Chevy guy.
Yeah,
I ain't got
yeah,
one
Well,
yet.
you know, you know, whether you go up there, you know, yeah.
It's good product, good aluminum, you know,
Yeah.
it's good quality aluminum, so you don't have to worry about stuff breaking on them, rocker arms breaking out or nothing like that,
Yeah.
like you do on that cheaper stuff you see.
Yeah, it's always good quality products.
I've always had good luck with them, and like I said, any time I have ever heard anything, you know, is get a hold of them and get them up there, and I mean they get them fixed, and they look like the day I bought them, you know. So they do a really good job.
Great quality Arkansas company.
I
Right
think it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're lucky
And they
to
race
have them.
too.
Yeah, we're lucky to have them.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, guys, I tell you what, we've enjoyed this past hour tonight, and y'all have, you know, greatly helped us with Arkansas Motorsports Magazine, because one of the main things we're about is preserving the history of motorsports in Arkansas. And you know, one of the things we believe is every racer has got a story, and we're out here trying to archive it and tell it one story at a time. And we appreciate y'all coming on tonight, and all the guys that turned out tonight. We appreciate it. And Heath, tell us about where we're going next week.
Well, next week we've got a roundtable discussion. We will be in Guy, Arkansas, at Bill Fry's shop, and we have Bill Fry, Johnny Verdon, Wendell Wallace, and Edwin Wells. We'll all be there talking about their late model days when they were racing
Barnstorming the countryside.
the countryside and traveling all over the area, and they're racing, and of course, you know, Fry's in the Hall of Fame. Wendell, he's still racing today, and Edwin's still racing, and Johnny's still racing. So, you know, we got lots of racing there to talk about.
A lot of history up in that area.
A lot of history.
With the dirt track and all.
So be sure to tune in next week and catch that. And you guys, for this weekend, we want to wish y'all luck out at Centerville this weekend.
We need all we can get.
We
And people come out and support us.
yeah, come out to Centerville. There'll be some, like I said, there'll be good racing. They'll be there from, like I said, they'll be Missouri. I mean, just all around this area.
A lot of people from Oklahoma.
And a lot of people from
generally make it.
Oklahoma. There'll be some people from Louisiana and
This is the
Mississippi.
21st year, so.
And but there'll be lots of folks out there, and Wayne and Patty usually make this a good deal to go to, and it's fun.
It's paid
So
full perks every year.
so go out there and watch and be a part of it.
Well, with that, like I said, we want to thank our sponsors again. Chambers Bank with 26 locations throughout Arkansas. Shaw Race Cars, Straight Line Transmissions. True Grit Auction Company, best of the best of the River Valley, thanks to us. And Weston Petroleum Company down in Palmerville, Arkansas. And Centerville Dragway, give them a shout out tonight, as well as our host sponsor tonight, Tracy and Tony and everybody from David Rogers Garage, including Employee of the Month, Danny Rader. And
Finally.
But like I said, it's been fun tonight. We hope you people at home have enjoyed it. So for Arkansas Motorsports Magazine, for Bill Gilk and Heath Tate and everybody here tonight, we'll see you back next week from Guy, Arkansas.